What is up, everybody? Random Random Man here, bringing you my review for The Edge of 17. Now, the plot basically follows Nadine, played by Hailee Steinfeld, who, after a family tragedy, finds her life even more unbearable when she discovers that her older brother Darian, played by Blake Jenner, is dating her best friend, Krista, played by Haley Lou Richardson, along with the fact that Nadine has to go through the struggles and turmoils of growing up. Going into this movie, I saw a lot of positive buzz surrounding it. It's an indie film, and many people were saying that this is one of the best teen movies in recent memory, which had me really intrigued to see this film, especially with the cast involved here. Hailee Steinfeld is a young actress I very much admire. I loved her in the 2010 remake of True Grit, for which she got an Oscar nomination for. By the way, she should have been nominated for Best Actress, not Best Supporting Actress for that movie, because she was the lead. Like, come on, Academy. I also am a fan of her music. She has a nice singing voice. Her songs are very upbeat and catchy. So, seeing her performance in The Edge of 17, I've got to say that she gives one of my favorite performances that I've seen from her in any movie. She got the awkward and teen angsty nature of Nadine down to a T, which I found myself relating to quite a bit. We all feel at a certain point at our lives, especially during adolescence, very awkward, not knowing who we are, who we want to be. Nadine was able to convey that nicely, and that is definitely aided by the superb performance that Steinfeld gives. The supporting cast in this movie also impressed me. Woody Harrelson plays this history teacher who Nadine confides in a lot after she's going through a bunch of problems, and then Harrelson is just sitting there all snarky like, yeah, Harrelson does a stupendous job portraying these types of characters, and I think it is no exception here. Kira Sedgwick plays Nadine's mom. You get to see a lot of how Nadine's attitude and her personality affects her, and I think she did a great job in bouncing off of Steinfeld in the tense moments that they had with one another. We also have the other young actors in this movie, like Haley Lou Richardson, who plays Nadine's best friend Krista. She did a nice job. Blake Jenner does a fine job playing the older brother of Nadine. He is one of those types of characters who's too in love with himself, very like, but you get to see his point of view throughout the entire movie of how he is going through the family tragedy that him, Nadine, and their mom went through. And I also have to give a special mention to Hayden Zito, who plays an admirer of Nadine's, and he is also awkward just like Nadine, but you see the chemistry that these two get to grow with one another, and I also got to relate with him in that he has a passion for film. Very nice to see. The writing in this movie is really poignant in what it is trying to portray. This film is written and directed by Kelly Fremon Craig, and I thought she did an excellent job both writing and directing this film in showing what it is like to be a young teen who is basically trying to get through life, even with, according to Nadine's point of view, having life already kicked the crap out of her and more stuff being added on top of it. This film also feels realistic in how it looks like teens would really say and do these things. This movie is rated R. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. These kids really act like real teens. They say fucking shit everywhere. They do things that really are what we would do in how we feel angsty in growing up. It doesn't feel like it's something that is idealized just for the movie screen. No, I feel like these people would really say and do things. Save for Woody Harrelson's character, I think if you would catch a teacher swearing in front of a kid, they would get fired immediately on the spot. With that dialogue and realistic-like setting, the movie has a lot of humor. It is very, very funny. It has a lot of moments that feel really, really genuine to the heart, but also really serious in what it's trying to do. So technically this movie at its core is a teen dramedy, and I think that would be the one thing that people would be put off by, as there is a bit of changing in tones throughout this film. That really is something that caught me off guard a bit in the film. I thought it was just going to be one note the entire way through, but that also is what surprised me ultimately with this movie, because it feels realistic, again with its setting, but also in how it felt to really follow Nadine throughout this entire movie and what she is going through. This film is really nicely paced too at about an hour and 40 minutes. The look of this film is really basic. This movie looks like it was not made for a very big budget, so like an independent film, but it did what it had to do with its own budget effectively. All in all, I do feel that this is one of the best teen movies in recent memory. I will agree with many people in that regard. I would put it on a similar level as Mean Girls or anything made by John Hughes, because it is that profound in the genre it is set in. I do hope that more people are able to see this movie now or later down the line, especially teenagers, in hopes of this movie getting a following, because it will speak to them on an emotional and philosophical level, because it is humorous, serious, and ultimately grounded in what it is trying to tell, in conveying a message that will really resonate with those who watch it, especially if they're in the teen age group. The performances in this movie all around, especially from Haley Steinfeld, are excellent. I think Steinfeld gives probably a career best performance, which is saying something because her career is still relatively young and I do hope spans across many, many more years down the line. The writing and direction by Kelly Fremont Craig is astounding in how she knows what to portray on screen. Really inspired work from her. I just think this film overall really is something that not only surprised me, but also really got to me at points. This is one of the biggest surprises of 2016 thus far. I will even go as far as to say that this is one of my favorite movies of the year so far, and I highly recommend it. My final verdict for The Edge of 17 is 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of The Edge of 17, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.